the integral from 0 to 1 of the integral from 0 to sine y of 1 over the root of 1 minus x squared dx dy is equal to one of these options. Okay, so from my first thought here is I was a little bit intimidated by the form of these things, but I think the inner integral, 1 over root 1 minus x squared, I'm sure there's a trigonometric substitution we can make there. Or maybe it's maybe there's a straightforward trigonometric integral. You know, I think the antiderivative might be a trigonometric function for this. And then I'm hoping that once we substitute sine of y, we get something simple. I don't think we'll be able to apply, based on looking at the options, I note that 0 is not an option. And so, even and odd stuff about the sine function is probably not going to come into play. I think the idea here should probably just be to directly compute everything. Okay, so an antiderivative of 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared. This is what? This is like arctan x, or okay, I'm going to have to do some rough work to figure out what the antiderivative of this thing is. And my rough work here is likely just going to be a few trials of guess and check. I'm going to guess a function, take its derivative, and see if I get this 1 over root 1 minus x squared. And then I'll come back and continue with the problem once I have the correct antiderivative. Okay, so I believe the answer is just sine inverse, or at least the antiderivative of this thing is just sine inverse. Let me just convince myself I didn't make any mistakes here. I set y equal to sine inverse x, so that sine y is equal to x. Take a derivative. Using implicit differentiation on the left, we have cos y times y prime is equal to 1. Divide by cos y, and then use the Pythagorean trig identity to see that this is 1 over the square root of 1 minus x squared, which is what we get. Okay, so the antiderivative of that inner integral is just sine inverse x. And this will be nice. It'll combine with that upper bound of integration. There will be some kind of cancellation. So I get the answer to this is 1, and that is one of the options in the multiple choice, so I'm fairly confident. If I have more to say about this one, I'll put it down in the description. Otherwise, thanks for watching.